This aroid is known as Philodendron atabapoense, and this is native to Venezuela, and you could see that it's already starting to climb and vine. So this is a climbing and vining plant, and I've had this for about 1.5 years now. I think I picked this up at one of the shows, and it's actually been, did I pick it up at a show? Or did I actually order it? I can't even remember now, but you can see that this would actually do very well on a sphagnum pole. I don't have it on a sphagnum pole. And this is growing strictly under one of my grow lights, although I do have another light off to the side that's a non-grow light, but it actually does throw off quite a bit of par value, if you will. If you want to know what that is, then you could look at my lighting videos in the Houseplant 101 section. However, this is growing in a little bit more, I would say, medium light conditions, and that's perfect for a philodendron. It doesn't need to have huge amounts of light or direct sunlight, if you will. If you give it some direct sunlight, it might actually destroy some of the leaves, just making it a little bit more chlorotic or yellow. I don't know. I haven't been growing it in those conditions, so I can't tell you. But you could see that these plants have a little bit of red bottom, which I absolutely love. I love when the red bottoms come out of these plants. So it's probably a plant that is typically growing in an understory, and what happens with a lot of philodendrons is they'll scramble along the ground until they hit a tree, and then they'll scramble up the tree and they'll start developing larger leaves, and in some cases, different shapes of leaves. This one has a little bit more of a sword shape, very thin leaf, so I don't know if these change any shape once they get larger, once they start scrambling up a pole or a tree. So I can't share that information, and I don't know that information off the top of my head. As far as fertilizing goes, and during the growing season, you're going to want to hit these up like probably on a bi-weekly, maybe even a monthly basis. But if you're using synthetic fertilizer, you could do like 20-20-20, or if you're focusing more on the leaves and you want to give a little bit more of a nitrogen boost, you could do 20-10-10, and you cut that by half. So it's about, if it's a ½ teaspoon per gallon, for instance, if that's what it says on the back of the fertilizing can, then you'd probably want to do a little bit more, like a ¼ teaspoon per gallon. And if you're using a little bit more of an organic fertilizer, then you could take a look at a well-balanced fertilizer, maybe like a 1-1-1. Or again, if you want to focus a little bit more on the nitrogen content for the greenness of the leaves, then you could do something like a 2-1-1, for instance. Otherwise, a great philodendron, you have to get this probably from a hobby grower or somebody who's growing it, other than, because I've never seen these at the garden center. I'm not saying like never say never, and I know that a lot of garden centers are trying to get a little bit more unique plants, but this is definitely more of a unique aroid, and I absolutely love the red bottoms, as I had mentioned before.